It began, as so many celebrity scandals do, with a handful of grainy photographs. Late one evening, images surfaced online of Sam Heughan leaving a discreet New York restaurant in the company of an unidentified woman. At first glance, the pictures could have been dismissed as routine, just another actor caught by paparazzi after dinner. But what caught everyone's attention were the subtle details. The way Sam leaned toward her as they walked, the closeness of their steps, the hint of laughter frozen in the flash of a camera. To casual observers, it looked like nothing more than a pleasant night out. To his fans, it was evidence of something far more tantalizing, a secret fling finally exposed. The story ignited instantly. Within hours of the photos hitting the internet, they were being shared across fan forums, gossip sites, and social media platforms worldwide. Hashtags like #SamHeughanSecretFling and #WhoIsShe began trending, drawing thousands of comments from fans desperate for answers. Twitter lit up with speculation. Instagram stories multiplied with reposts of the same few blurry images, and even TikTok creators joined in, analyzing Sam's body language frame by frame. The fascination wasn't surprising. For years, Sam had built a reputation not only as the swoon-worthy Jamie Fraser of Outlander but also as one of the most private men in Hollywood. While other stars offered glimpses of their personal lives on social media, Sam kept his guarded, revealing little beyond his work, his love of fitness, and his passion projects. This silence fueled curiosity. Fans longed to know more about the man behind the character, and the photographs felt like a door cracked open to a part of his life he had carefully kept hidden. Adding to the intrigue was the woman herself. In the photos, she wore a dark coat, her face partially obscured by hair and shadow. Some fans claimed she looked familiar, speculating that she might be a model or actress. Others suggested she could be someone entirely outside the entertainment industry. Blogs and gossip outlets scrambled to identify her, some publishing side-by-side comparisons with women Sam had previously been rumored to date. The lack of a clear answer only intensified the frenzy. As the images circulated, narratives began to form. One camp insisted that Sam was simply enjoying dinner with a friend and that the pictures were taken out of context. Another, far louder camp, became convinced that this was undeniable proof of a romantic relationship, a secret fling, that had finally been dragged into the spotlight. Every gesture, every glance was scrutinized. A fleeting touch of the hand was replayed endlessly as if it were the smoking gun in a mystery thriller. The media wasted no time capitalizing on the speculation. Tabloids ran sensational headlines. Sam Heughan's secret love revealed, late-night rendezvous sparks frenzy, and even, Outlander star hiding romance from fans. Online magazines published think pieces about why celebrities try to keep relationships private, while gossip columns promised exclusive insights into Sam's supposed romance. Yet none of these outlets provided concrete evidence, just recycled photos, anonymous sources, and speculation masquerading as fact. For fans, however, facts were almost irrelevant. What mattered was the story they believed. In fan groups, debates raged. Some celebrated the idea that Sam might have found love, insisting he deserved happiness after years of being linked only to rumors. Others felt betrayed, irrationally disappointed that their favorite actor could be romantically involved with someone unknown. A few even went so far as to criticize him for not being honest with his fanbase, as though he owed them access to every corner of his private life. And then came the most explosive detail. According to eyewitness accounts, Sam and the woman did not part ways after dinner. Paparazzi cameras caught them stepping into the same car and disappearing into the night. This was the moment that turned whispers into a storm. To many fans, leaving together was the ultimate confirmation that their relationship was more than platonic. To others, it was still inconclusive, but the damage was done. The narrative of a secret fling had taken root, and it spread like wildfire. By the next morning, the story had snowballed into a global talking point. Entertainment outlets across the UK, the US, and even Australia picked it up. Some podcasts devoted entire episodes to discussing the photographs. YouTube channels dissected the situation, complete with dramatic thumbnails and speculative titles. The demand for answers grew louder by the hour. In the blink of an eye, Sam Heughan's carefully guarded privacy had been shattered. What had begun as a simple night out was now a full-blown media spectacle, with millions of fans demanding to know the truth. And yet, amid all the noise, one crucial question remained unanswered. Was this truly the beginning of a hidden romance, or simply another illusion crafted by paparazzi flashbulbs and the public's unquenchable thirst for drama? That question lingered in the air, setting the stage for what came next: the fan backlash, the media frenzy, and Sam's own quiet but telling response. By the time the sun rose the next morning, the photographs of Sam Heughan's late-night outing had already circled the globe. What might have been an ordinary evening quickly snowballed into one of the most talked-about stories among fans and gossip outlets alike. The demand for answers grew louder. Comment sections brimmed with arguments, and headlines screamed about a secret fling finally revealed. But what was the truth behind the frenzy, and how did Sam himself respond? The first wave of reactions came from fans, and they were anything but unified. Some supporters celebrated the idea that Sam might be dating, insisting he deserved love and companionship. "He works so hard, he should be happy," one fan wrote on Twitter, attaching hearts and champagne emojis. Others were less forgiving, voicing disappointment or skepticism. "I'll believe it when I hear it from him," another posted, refusing to take the paparazzi photos at face value. A smaller, but vocal group even expressed frustration, accusing the star of keeping secrets from the fanbase, as though his private life were a matter of public record. Meanwhile, the media machine shifted into overdrive. Tabloids churned out speculative pieces, some even claiming to have inside sources, confirming that Sam was seeing someone new. Gossip blogs published lists of possible identities for the mysterious woman, each more far-fetched than the last. Online magazines debated whether celebrities had a right to privacy or if fame inherently meant forfeiting it. The story took on a life of its own, morphing into a global spectacle with little regard for facts. Through it all, Sam remained silent. No cryptic Instagram posts, no casual tweets, no official statements. This silence, rather than calming the storm, only fueled it. Fans hung on every move he made, what events he attended, who he was seen with, even what captions he used on unrelated posts. The absence of clarification became its own kind of headline. "Why won't Sam address the rumors?" read one article, while another speculated, "His silence speaks volumes." Yet those who knew Sam's history were hardly surprised. He had long been one of the most private figures in entertainment, carefully drawing a line between his professional and personal life. Time and again, he had emphasized in interviews that while he valued his fans deeply, he also needed parts of his life to remain his own. In many ways, his silence was not a dodge but a statement in itself. His relationships, if they existed, were not for public consumption. The contrast between the fantasy and the reality became stark. On screen, Sam was Jamie Fraser, a man whose love for Claire was all-consuming, passionate, and eternal. Off-screen, however, he was a man navigating fame's pressures, aware that every smile or glance could be twisted into a headline. Fans often blurred those lines, yearning to see the same romance in his personal life. But reality is rarely so cinematic. The photographs that fueled weeks of speculation may have been nothing more than a dinner with a friend, a colleague, or a casual acquaintance. As the frenzy continued, more thoughtful voices emerged. Some fans began pushing back against the invasive speculation, reminding others that celebrities are entitled to privacy. "He doesn't owe us an explanation," one fan group posted. "Enjoy the show, support his work, and let him live his life." These messages gained traction, slowly tempering the intensity of the rumor mill. For Sam, the entire ordeal served as a reminder of the double-edged sword of fame. On one hand, his global popularity ensured that every project he touched received massive attention. On the other, it meant that even the most mundane aspects of his life could be spun into scandal. Navigating this balance, between giving fans enough to feel connected and protecting his right to a private existence, was a challenge he had faced before and would likely face again. The truth about the so-called secret fling may never be fully known. Perhaps it was a budding romance, or perhaps it was nothing at all. Just an evening out blown wildly out of proportion by the glare of paparazzi flashbulbs. What is certain, however, is that the incident exposed more about fan culture than it did about Sam himself. It highlighted the way people project their hopes and fantasies onto celebrities, building narratives from fragments of evidence and demanding answers that may not exist. And so, while fans demanded explanations, Sam Heughan chose silence, and perhaps that was the wisest response of all. In refusing to confirm or deny, he reclaimed control of the narrative, reminding the world that some stories are not meant to be told, at least not by tabloids or strangers on the internet. In the end, the truth may be far less dramatic than the headlines suggested. But in the realm of celebrity culture, perception often outweighs reality. For Sam, the storm will pass, as it always does. His legacy will not be defined by rumors of a secret fling, but by the roles he plays, the stories he tells, and the quiet dignity with which he guards his own life. And perhaps that is the real story. Not the fling that may or may not exist, but the man who continues to remind us that even in the blinding light of fame, some things are still his alone.